Welcome back to Pink Slip Pavilion. If this is your first time here, welcome to the pavilion. We are on a mission to reframe the layoff experience, and here we're sharing stories of people who have done just that. We call it turning a pink slip into a power move. And this week we are celebrating episodes 1 through 10 by sharing all of the advice from the incredible stories in the first 10 episodes of this season. So if this is your first episode, it's a great starting place to get all the advice. But I encourage you to go back and listen to these incredible women's stories, how they've overcome, how they've grown, and how their lives have truly blossomed coming out of this season. So without further ado, here's the advice.
This pink slips the start, not the end.
We are resilient. We will get through it. With every good, there's a bad. With every bad, there's a good. And whatever stage you're at in this part of your journey, there is another side and there's another opportunity.
I want to say this clearly, and I want to say it slowly because it's something that I had to remind myself when I started this layoff journey. One, I would say that you're not broken. I would also say that you're not behind. And I would say that you're not alone. You have a lot of wonderful people that have walked this journey that are now doing amazing things. And so there's a lot of great examples to follow in how to go through this journey very well. I would also say don't let this moment define you. Allow this to be a defining moment to reinvent yourself into the amazing person that you were actually created to be. This moment does not erase your experience, your excellence, or your future. It's okay to rest and to take a moment to reflect and to reimagine what life is going to be like after this layoff journey. But don't lay down too long, right? Get back up. It's okay to ask for help. What I realized as I went through this layoff journey is there's so many amazing people that are willing to help you. Don't be afraid to turn that button on LinkedIn and say that you're looking for an amazing opportunity. There are a lot of people that are in your community who will help you, but they can't hear you if you remain silent. And it's okay if you don't have the next step and you don't have it all figured out. Take one step at a time. But the reality is that you got to keep moving. Don't just lay down. Get up, pull the sheets off, and know that you're going to make it and you're going to be just okay. And then this season can be a season of rebuilding for you, not just a detour. And with that right support, the right strategy, and self-compassion, which is so extremely important that you care for yourself, you will rise from this layoff stronger, better, clearer, and more grounded than you can ever imagine. A pink slip is a beginning. A gold buzzer is the destination.
I
And
love
I'm wishing you so much success as you go through this layoff journey. You got this.
I love
Keep
it.
going. And don't you ever give up.
Is lean into your network, lean into the people that are willing to say your names in rooms you're not in, lean into the people that have poured into you in your career. Maybe you haven't talked to them in a little while. Reconnect with those people and see what conversations that you can start because the next step for me in this experience, the biggest blessing came from somebody willing to advocate for me. And I think in the current job market, that's more important than ever because you're getting lost in a sea of resumes and a sea of AI and all these things. But it's always who you know, not what you know. I don't care what arena you're in, that's the reality. And if you have somebody in your network, you have somebody in your sphere that's willing to advocate for you and say your name in rooms you're not in, that would be my number one piece of advice for you. And then the second thing would be lean into that time. I know it may be scary. I know it may feel overwhelming. I know financial struggle is a very real thing when you're walking through a layoff. But take a moment to take inventory of what are the things that you've said no to because you haven't had the time that you can say yes to right now because you have an abundance of time that you may never have again in your career until you retire. That is the reality that we're living in, right? Don't take this time for granted. because there's something in this moment in time that you need. I don't know what it is, but there is something that you need. And I promise you that if you lean into this moment and you check in with yourself and you take advantage of this time, the next step that you take into the next season of your life, you're going to be better for it.
There's not many times in life where you get a pause.
Mm.
And having that pause to really take that time to look inward and see what was working before. What are those patterns, those day-to-day habits, whether it's work life, personal life, anything, do you want to keep with you? And how do you want to redefine your future? And there's not many times you get a blank slate to reimagine what you want your life to look like and have the opportunity to do exactly that.
So that's one advice. The second piece is don't underestimate how tiring work is. So if you're just laid off, give yourself a minute to just rest before you get into the battle again. Just rest for a minute, breathe, self-care. What do I need today? Hot coffee, like a little shower. What makes me 1% better? And then the same when you're starting to get triggered or overwhelmed, take a pause, cocoon back to you. Because it's exhausting and give self-compassion. The continuous rejection, especially now with all this no's, it weighs on you. And it's okay. It's okay to be like me.
Yeah.
And call someone to crying, feeling disappointed, but never internalize it to your worth. And if you start feeling like you're not good enough or whatever, write down 10 examples of how that's not true and read them so that you don't end up making a story of yourself that's just factually not true.
Go inside. Go inside and just really love that person. Have compassion for that person. We are our own best critics. At the gym every day, I'm recording a different gym buddy. Like, what do you love most about yourself, and what do you like struggle with? And inner criticism is a theme. And if we were to talk to ourselves the way we would talk to our best friend, the world might be a little better. So really think of how you're talking to yourself and go inside and have compassion, like have patience, we are all only doing the very best that we can in the moment where we are at. And so treat yourself like you would your best friend and give that person that love from the inside out because you're the only one. You come first. I looked up book titles. I want to write a book, The Art of Selfishness, and how we all should be selfish just as long as we're not hurting anybody else. And there is a book, The Art of Selfishness, already out there. But I have always put myself first as much as I possibly could over my kids, over my husband, over my mom, because like nobody else can do for me what I can do for me. And if I'm not whole and I'm not aligned, I can't help anybody else. I can't show up to be the best wife. I can't show up to be the best mom I can be. I can't show up to be the best daughter I can be. And so really and truly like cradle that inner child and just love yourself no matter how hard it is. The fake it till you make it is a thing. And so if you really are not feeling the love for yourself, start speaking love to yourself. And then your body, your nervous system will start believing it. And just know, like, again, it happens for you, not to you. This life is what we make of it. And your mindset can bring you down or raise you up. And that is 100% human choice.
It's going to be okay.
Mm.
You're going to be okay. And sometimes you just have to say it to yourself. I have to say it to myself sometimes too, but I'm like, it's gonna be okay. When you tell that to your brain, that frontal lobe hits and you're like, okay, you're okay. You're alive.
This does not define you. And when one door closes, you've always heard this, another one opens. This is a redirection for you, and it's another opportunity for you to do something you've always wanted to do. Many of us are scared to do that. And again, you don't have to be completely ready. You do need to have at a little bit some ideas and thinking about what you can do next, but always be prepared. Have that resume ready. Update that resume regularly. That is the one thing I saw with the group of us that got laid off at the same time. A lot of people started getting really nervous and not knowing what to do because they didn't have that ready. Practice interviewing. Like, just be prepared for whatever the next thing is going to be and know your why. Because if you don't know what your why is, you will feel lost. You will feel stuck. And the more you can have more self-awareness, start building your confidence and really knowing what your strengths are, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to go from stuck to unstoppable. And this is not an easy move. It's something that you just have to deeply self-reflect on. But just know that this next chapter is going to be an amazing one, and you have to stay positive at all times.
Yeah, I would say if you're going through something like that, like a pink slip is not a punishment, even though it may feel like that in the moment. It's more of a permission slip, right? A permission to finally stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that you're probably not meant for. Don't allow the layoff to break you. Look at it like it's freeing you for the next bigger opportunity. And then, just, have your moment. Don't, shy away from your emotions. You have to go through it because we're all human, but don't stay down there. Don't feel like you're going to be stuck. There's always a way and there's always a will. So that's what I would tell folks.
There's so much that you can pull out of this season of your life if you're willing to sit in the discomfort and just let it be, because it's moving through you. It's not going to drown you. One of my guests talked about not fighting the wave. Don't fight the wave, but also recognize you cannot avoid it. You cannot control it. You cannot avoid it. And if you're willing to just be still and sit with it and let it move through you, I promise you that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I promise you that there is always a new day. There is always new growth. There is always something beautiful down the line for you. I can't promise you it's going to be tomorrow, but I can promise you that if you're willing to grow through this experience, there will be blessings for you.
Like, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, and use this as an opportunity, not as something that's limiting you and taking your identity away, but what is the true identity that you have, and how can you use that to move forward in your life and your career?
And my goal is for other people that are going through these horrible, difficult times, know that it's crappy. And gaslighting yourself into thinking that you should be blessed. No. It's okay to be messy and unhappy and depressed. So you feel how you feel. The goal is to be okay with whatever life throws at you. There's no happiness. Everything's transient. But all we control is what moment of joy can I give to myself today, and what can I discover about myself today, and one day at a time. That's literally all we have. And not to put the pressure on, I should be here because these other people are there. Nah, we're all playing a different video game in life. Like, play your own.
And that's probably what these moments teach us. If the however long or however short that takes, it's like understanding how much you have in your control and what you don't have in your control. You just need to be like, okay, cool. Well, the universe is gonna take care of this. I will just do what I need to do.
It goes back to that everything happens for you, not to you. And when you can see that everything is already worked out for me, like God has always provided, universe, like whatever source, whatever you call it, there is something bigger and it's always worked out. And so any of the fear, any of the because there was that, exactly like you talked about, that self-talk that I just pushed down because I'm really good at running and controlling my own emotions because I'm a Taurus, we're stubborn and don't do that. Don't push it down and push it away. All of the negative feelings, all of your fears, all of everything you perceive as negative, let them come up and out we should be writing them. I do it every morning. I do an emotional dump, and I start with like all of this crap I'm telling myself about how terrible I am, and I suck, and I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I'm afraid of this. I'm fear existential kink. It's a book. She's amazing, and it's that fear journal, and we're taught in society to like not fear anything. And I thought I'm a pretty fearless girl. And then I started my own business and I was like, oh, dear, I just repressed all of those.
Mm-hmm.
So repressing our fears only magnifies them in our subconscious and in our identity, which that's 95 horses running us as our subconscious. Our conscious is only five. And so you're going to lose if you're not tapping into your subconscious and rewiring it, rewriting it, reframing it. And it's not that we suck, but we all feel it at some point, and so we have to free it. And so the biggest thing is just to free, like bring them up, talk to them, acknowledge them. Don't push them down and away. All your negative talk, because the only way to free them is to face them.
Anytime we go through adversity, it's like this incubator for growth if we're willing to lean into it. But if I were to give you any advice, it would be to trust the process because I'm a person of faith and I personally believe that sometimes we're not willing to remove ourselves from spaces that God no longer wants us to be in. And so he will remove us for our own protection, right? That's where the God's rejection is your protection comes from. If you're not a person of faith, universe, life, whatever it is, trust your journey because I don't believe that anything happens by accident. I really believe that if you're not meant to be somewhere anymore and you won't remove yourself, life will remove you and plant you in a new environment so that you can continue to grow forward and get closer and closer to the best version of yourself. So I would say trust the process. And I would say don't forget to pour into your own cup. If you go through something, especially if you're coming from an environment where you had people speaking down to you or being unkind to you or a toxic work environment, you really need to refill your cup. You really need to take inventory of what parts of me need patching? What parts of me need to let go? What parts of me need a little extra love right now? And how do I get back to myself? Because sometimes we spend so much time in toxic environments, we don't realize that we've started to become toxic ourselves. So, my encouragement to you is trust the process, one step at a time, and make sure that you take the time to love yourself and to pour into you because that is the quickest way to get to the next part of your journey. I promise you, the better you feel about yourself, the more you're willing to heal and grow, the better off you're going to be.
It's okay. You're gonna be fine, you know? And
Yeah.
you just have to keep saying that to yourself. And, fake it till you make it, if anything. But I'm a huge sense of humor person. I have people with, I know sometimes people are like, you shouldn't be laughing about that. But I'm like, you know what? That's how I cope. I love to laugh.
Yeah.
I love to enjoy even that moment. It's gonna pass. And then I'm gonna look back at it and be like, you know what? That was kind of funny.
I'm I'm very thoughtful about every single day, finishing the day with what's mine, what's somebody else's, and what did I learned today, and did this day make me feel like I want to feel? And it really helps.
You're still here. You are so much stronger than you think. So much stronger because you've already passed through so much as it is and you've made it through. You just forgotten about like how tough that was,
Mm-hmm.
but you did make it through. So you will also make it through this.
Yes. I want to say something. I want to remind your audience that's going to hear this of something that you said, which I think is extremely important. You get to choose
Mm.
what your pain to purpose look like. And so don't ever forget how much power you have in the layoff to choose how you're going to go through it. You can go through it broken if you choose to, but you can also go through it healed. and impactful and empowered. And I would encourage your listeners to choose well how you navigate pain to purpose. There's still purpose on the other end of it. Go through it and go through it with healing and with all tenacity. You'll get to the other side of it, but you want to be the better person when you get to the other side of it.
Well, there you have it. All the advice from episodes 1 through 10, so you can put it on repeat and listen over and over and over again. I highly encourage you to go back and listen to the stories that came with the advice. And of course, we'll be back next Wednesday, so make sure you hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss future stories. We are here every Wednesday sharing more proof that a pink slip is actually a power move in disguise if you allow it to be. I'll see you there.
This pink slips